Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Using a goniometer mic. That's a physical therapy thing. And today, Brad, we are honored to have, well, it's two kind of surprising things here. One, we have a guest. And two, Brad has a friend. I mean, this is quite shocking to me.
This whole thing about liking on Facebook is starting to work, because here we got Dan, and he even offered to come and give his experience on how therapy and some exercises healed himself
This is an amazing story. It really is.
It really is. But, Bob, before we go any farther, I see 727 people out there waiting to
All right. By the way, if you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. And as we were alluding to, please go over to Facebook and like us, because Brad and I, as children, were not liked. And now we're turning things around. We got a friend. Maybe Dan will become my friend, too, and we'll all be happy. So like us on Facebook.
It's all going to come together. So on this particular video, I was talking to Dan, and he's got an incredible story about his knee problem. And as a matter of fact, your knee was so bad at one point in your life, both knees, you had a hard time. You were just saying, running across the road, if a car was coming, you kind of had to do a little hobbling to get across the road because of your knee pain. And since then, and that was about 30 years ago-ish?
About 30 years ago. That's right.
And we're going to tell how he's got to the point where he's at now, where he's actually, in the last few years, has done Ironman triathlons, and your knees have no pain now.
That's right.
And you have surgery?
Bravo.
No.
No surgery?
No.
Okay, so you're going to show us there was one particular stretch that really got you there. We're not going to show right now because I want to talk a little bit about how this evolved and then the key stretch that got you going from hobbling to long distance, Ironman events.
Well, first, Dan, I don't know, how old are you? Is it all right if we ask you?
Sure, 63.
Look at him. He looks great.
Really?
We hope to look that good.
Look, he's got no gray hair. You must be doing something.
I don't worry enough.
He doesn't worry enough.
That's a key part. And then your occupation?
I'm a financial advisor.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
But when you were earlier on,
I was in the construction industry.
so you're talking building houses or roads or?
I was actually an equipment operator.
Oh, really?
For a general contractor.
What did you operate?
Crane.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Maybe we can talk about that
Business
later.
was picking up.
Okay, all right. So as far as your knees problem, can you go through a little bit about, you said back in the 30s you were just running a little bit at the time?
He was 30-some years old, right?
Early 30s.
Early 30s.
Yep. And I decided I was going to start running. Running craze was going on then, and I was running longer and longer distances, but not long distances.
Like 3 miles?
I'd run like 5Ks, 10Ks and things like
bad.
that. So I wasn't running long distances, but I started getting knee pain, thinking, well, that goes along with running.
Sure.
Runners get sore knees. And it got increasingly worse, and I take a couple, back then it was Excedrins. Take a couple Excedrins before you run. And,
You are dating yourself here.
yeah, a couple Excedrins after.
Outside ibuprofen.
Yeah. It got to the point where I'd stretch a little bit, and it seemed like it'd get better, but there were times when I'd get out and I'd have to walk back, and the knee pain was so severe.
Both knees were just from running?
And I thought that was normal.
Right.
Sure.
But I was doing some stretches, the other runners, they're doing their hurdler struts and putting their leg up and stretching your hamstrings.
Sure.
And I was doing those, and I thought, well, I just can't run anymore. So I started cycling.
Right. Bicycle?
Bicycle.
Right.
Sure.
Yep. And the same thing happened. And I got to the point where I'd have to get off my bike and walk my bike home. I thought, I just can't do this anymore.
Which most people think, if you can't run, you should be able to cycle because you don't have that impact going on your knees.
Exactly. Quite often, that's the solution. Actually, when you're having knee pain, is often to take up biking. But here, the knee pain followed you right into it.
Right.
So it didn't matter whether you ran or you bike. You ended up walking home after not. And it's not like you were going 100 miles on your bike, or were you just going?
Oh no. No, I remember one time I was going on a 20-mile bike ride, and I got about, a few miles out, and I just couldn't go anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you had to walk back?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it progressed to the point where it was even hurting at work, you were saying.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It it was hurting at work, and I was telling Brad the story about, you know, if you're walking and you just run across the street,
Right.
and my knees would really hurt. I just hated doing that, you know,
Sure.
because any kind of running would,
Just even a little bit.
oh yeah.
So, you know, if anybody out there is feeling knee symptoms and you think that you're done, you know, you're just going to be an inactive person, well, you know, so then what happened? How did this come about, this miracle stretch, so to speak, that got you back in the game?
Well, I like the fitness thing. So I was going to Cybex, it was a fitness center back then, where they did physical therapy, but it was open to the public to work out. So I was lifting weights and working on the machines.
That was Golden Davies.
Right.
Yeah.
Golden.
Gould.
Oh, Gould,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Jim Gould, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew the owners of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was working out there just lifting weights, and a physical therapist, I don't know who he was, but I struck up a conversation with him, and he said, "Are you a runner?" I said, "I used to be a runner, but I can't run anymore." And he thought that was kind of curious. He said, "Let me look at your shoes," and he looked at the wear pattern on my shoes. He said, "That looks fine."
Sure.
He said, "Get on the treadmill once. Let me watch you run." And I ran for a little bit, and he said, "You know, I have a good gait." He said, "Try this stretch right here once." So I'd cross.
Shoulder stretch. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd do this stretch here, and I'd just cross my leg over and just pull my knee over. And well, you know, I'll try that, but I feel it up in here. I don't feel anything in my knee. And he said, just try it once and see if it works. And so
you stretched both sides?
both sides.
And how long would you stretch? Like for hours or just?
Oh no, I'd just like count, you know, 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay.
You know,
And do that one.
Just take that stretch and hold it
Yep,
for 20
right,
seconds.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Daily,
Yep. Once a day?
once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And in a couple weeks, I was cured.
Wow.
No more knee pain.
And then you started running again?
Yep.
And then so did you start biking again too?
Yep. I started everything again.
And
And I could go and run 20 miles right now, and my knees wouldn't hurt at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was back in your 30s. So since then you gradually progressed in the running, and then I know you're doing triathlons now, and you're actually doing Ironman, where you bike 100 and how many miles?
112.
112 miles, followed by a marathon.
Right. Yeah.
We got to get.
really
There's some
incredible.
problems from the neck up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a brain abnormality, but my knees are fine.
But actually, as a therapist, this makes complete sense to us because you have the IT band, which runs all the way down the leg, comes from the tensor fasciae lata, attaches into it.
Yep,
that's the
muscle right here.
That's the muscle he felt he was stretching. But this crosses the knee, and when you're running, it can irritate the knee. And also, when you bike, it can irritate the knee. So it's one of the few things that'll irritate both biking and running.
Sure.
So
So this could be a big answer for a lot of people out there who are coming in with knee pain or giving comments on knee pain. So this is and here we got 63-year-old doing Ironmans with no knee pain. When he's in his 30s, he could hardly get across the road.
So why don't you show some stretches, Brad, here? I mean, I thought you wanted to show 3 stretches, right?
Well, yeah, we could, but this is the big one. So we got one out of the way. Why don't you hold on to that, Bob? You just talk through.
Okay.
We don't normally do this.
Yeah. So as an option here, what he could also use is the foam roller. Right. And this is one from OPTP. We really like it because it's a little bit softer, especially on the IT band, which can be a...
Yeah, I'm going to start up here in that tensor fasciae lata muscle belly, and then I'm going to work down to the IT band.
Right. So this is a way to really focus on the tensor fasciae lata, the muscle itself.
Have you done this?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Okay, good. So yeah, and some people actually just take like a tennis ball, even work it up there too.
Sure, yeah.
But this is a good one to do, especially if you're a runner, because you can also flip over and do the hamstrings and quads and everything like that too. So,
and then I think the other thing I would like to, make a suggestion if you want, Dan, as far as your hamstring stretches, you're talking about those hurdler stretches.
I'm old school.
Yeah. We don't care for those. They stretch the hamstrings, but they kind of can injure your back. Mm-hmm. You don't have any back problems, you said.
Fortunately not.
But even though this would probably be, if you did, later on, we don't have time to go through this all on video today. The people are already falling asleep out there because I'm boring them. But this is a really good. Bob, you're right in the way. They got to see my face.
Well, you got to hear you too.
Yeah, get that long.
Good Lord. So what's nice about this is, you can pull on it. You can also, it's called contract relax. So you pull down with the muscle, and then when he relaxes, he pulls it a little further, and you'll find you're going to stretch out further and further. I actually was just doing regular stretches, and I ended up buying the band just for this stretch because my hamstring, I'm having trouble staying ahead of it, and it's still tightening up on me. Yep. So I did this morning. I actually do it where I put the middle loop on there, Brad.
Right. Yeah.
There's you can tell where the middle loop is because there's a tag right there. So we put it on there, and then I can take both hands and I loop in, I put my hands in the loops, and now I can do the pull and relax, and it goes further and further. It's a great way to stretch. And you can actually stretch the IT band a little bit this way too, Brad. If he pulls it over like this, you're actually stretching that same band, same IT band a little bit that way too. So works out.
Gives you a lot of nice control over that leg. Feels good.
Was there another way you're going to stretch the IT band, Brad, or was it?
No,
that was it. So
just this, that, and the one that Dan showed. I really like that.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you again so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Remember, use this financial service. Where do they find you? In La Crosse?
In La Crosse.
All right. We got to give out your number. So, all right.
Take care.
Thanks for watching.